Hi guys, welcome to another video. Today I thought I haven't made a tutorial in a long time, and just so happens I had a conversation with my friend Scott, who is a wedding filmmaker. He's thinking about getting a stabilizer. The one he's looking at is the Ronin S, which is about £800 here in the UK. But what I said to him that maybe he wants to look at something like a Glidecam HD2000, HD4000, which I think if you've got the right tips, it could be just as good as a Ronin S. So today we're going to do a little bit of an experiment. I'm going to give Scott the Glidecam, get a before shot, and then we're going to share 6 tips with you and Scott and hopefully get some better footage ending in a cinematic edit at the end of this clip. So let's go. Right, so we've come to Abbott's Woods, which is a woods near Eastbourne, and I'm going to introduce you to Scott now, and then we're going to start the Glidecam tips.
Hi, I'm Scott.
This is Scott. Scott is a wedding filmmaker. I'll link his channel down below. Is it right that you've never used a Glidecam before?
I am a Glidecam virgin.
Okay. So we've got the Glidecam here. We're going to set Scott up with the 5D, and we're going to do a before shot to see how bad his first shot is, and then hopefully we're going to improve that with 6 tips.
It's going to be bad.
Right, so the first thing we're just going to get Scott to try it. He's never used one before. I've just chucked the camera on there and he's just going to do his first take, and we're going to see how that looks. You ready?
Yeah.
So first tip's all about balance. We need to get Scott set up on the Glidecam, and then we'll get into the very first tip. So we put the camera on the Glidecam. What we need to do now is, the first thing is to do a drop test. So I'm going to get Scott to hold the gimbal with his right hand and then pull the camera up vertically and then drop it. Okay, so we're looking for about a 2 to 3 second drop time. If you want to drop that, Scott. So that's actually pretty spot on for a first time, which basically means that the weight on the bottom is near enough the same as on the top. Now, because I've used this before, I had the right amount of weight on there anyways. So if you find that your drop time is too quick, then you either need to take some weight off the bottom, shorten the pole, vice versa, add some more weight on, or extend the pole to get a quicker drop time. Okay, so I'm going to get Scott to just hold it out in front of him without using his left hand. We're going to see how the Glidecam's reacting, whether it goes left or right. Okay, so it's going back and a little bit to the left. So I'm going to show you how we fix that. So I'm now going to get Scott to undo these 4 dials on the side, and then we're going to shift the Glidecam weight around. So first we're going to deal with the front and back balance. So I'm just going to get Scott to pick it up. So I'm going to get Scott to play with this back dial first, and that's going to sort out the front and back. So it's going to take a bit of trial and error. So Scott's just going to turn it, and then we're going to pick it up and just see how it sits. So Scott's now balanced it, so it's no longer going forward and back. It's going a little bit left and right, so we'll fix that by using the other screw on the other side. So now we've got the front and back sorted, we're going to tighten up these nuts at the side to make sure that it stays in that place. So there's also some nuts under here that we need to unscrew, and that will sort out the left and right. So I'm going to get Scott to undo those now. So now we're going to use the dial on the side, and I'm just going to get Scott to test this around. Again, it's a trial and error. Pick it up, see if it's going tilting right, pitch it the opposite way, and vice versa. So we've now got the Glidecam pretty well balanced, but there's one final step. I'm going to get Scott to spin it on its axis, and you can see how well balanced it is then. So as you can see, when Scott's spinning it, it's going back and forth. So we need to do one final step to get this perfect. So now I'm going to get Scott to play with these 4 dials, and we're going to extend the weights out to hopefully give us a better rotation. So as you can see, it's now spinning on the same axis. So we've balanced it now. What we need to do next is focus on the way you walk. You can't just walk normally with a Glidecam. you need to do what's called heel toe. Some people call it ninja walk. I like to call it the walk you do when you're trying to sneak past your parents' bedroom after you've been on a drunken night out. So let's show Scott doing that now. I'm just going to get Scott to demonstrate the ninja walk now. Heel toe, nice and smooth. So everyone's natural reaction with the Glidecam is to use both hands, but in actual fact you mainly want to use your right hand on the gimbal and the left hand is used for fine tuning. So I've got my right hand on the gimbal and it's staying perfectly still, and all I'm going to do is if I want to turn, I'm just going to tap it lightly like that, because if I hold it like that you'll feel the shake from your left hand. So what you need to do is just slowly tap it in the direction, but mainly using this right hand to keep it stable. Tip number 4 is to shoot in a higher frame rate. If your camera has it, go to 50 or 60p, or if you don't have that, you can even go for 30 and slow it down in post. That will make your results so much smoother. So by far the hardest thing to do on a Glidecam is to focus, because you need both hands operating. You can't manually focus. So if you've got something like this, which we're filming on now, is the Canon 80D, it has great autofocus. But if you don't, you're shooting on something like the 5D Mark III, then there's another method that you need to use. So the best way I find to get focus is to set your focus manually and then just keep the same distance from your subject. So for example, Scott's filming a wedding, he'll find the focus and then just follow the bride at the same distance. So I'm going to show you a shot of Scott's feet, and I'm just going to set the focus first off and then just track him at the same distance. That brings us nicely onto the next tip, which is how to do those low shots like you just saw of me doing there with Scott's feet. So because the Glidecam is balanced so well, you can literally flip it upside down and it'll be the same balance as if you were holding it the right way up. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. So all I'm going to get Scott to do is just to flip the Glidecam upside down, and he's going to hold on to just the top here. You just need to pinch it and then just let it hang. Like I say, as it's balanced already, it should be pretty stable. So there you go, there's the 6 tips, and we're now going to get Scott to try them all out and see the before and after results. When you ready, Scott? There we go guys, hopefully you enjoyed that little cinematic edit and the 6 tips that I've shown you on how to be better with your Glidecam. So if you enjoyed these sorts of videos, you want to see more stuff like this, make sure you subscribe, stick a like, it really does help, and I'll see you in the next video.